Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to your Bitcoin report. Really glad to have you guys here. Now, today is Wednesday, June 5th, 2019. Let's see what's going on with cryptocurrencies. Let me get my chart started. Okay, get the chart started right here. And the first thing we're going to look at is cryptocurrency market capitalizations. And we're seeing Bitcoin right now at 248.7 billion. Let me just refresh the page. 248.8 billion, and the coins, they've undergone a setback in the last couple of days. We've had a setback, but it's only to be expected, because when you take a big leg up in price, it takes a little while for people to adjust to the new price level, and then what it does is then when the bulls leave off and they leave it at that new level, what happens is it tends to fluctuate and try to find a level. And that's basically what it's doing. And I figure it's going to take a couple months. I called this rally, the end of this rally, almost to the minute. And then I also called it how long it's going to take before we reach the next leg up. And we might move downwards a little bit in price before we take the next leg up. And this is very common, for this to actually happen. Let's take a look at the Bitcoin price right now. 77.85. Let me refresh the page. 77.61. So it's trying to find a price level right now. And let's take a look at what a senior trader has to say. He says, the market is in an identity crisis, trying to find a place to stabilize right now. And I wholeheartedly agree. That's exactly what it's doing. It's trying to stabilize before the next leg up, probably in a couple months from now. It says, it's only Wednesday, but it's been a strange week for Bitcoin. The price has been all over the place. As far as we can tell, it's currently sat around 78.80 range, following a 1.8% change over the last 24 hours. According to Bloomberg, the GDI Vera Convergence Divergence Indicator has flashed sell for the first time since April. The indicator measures both positive and negative trends and has been showing positive signals for most of the year thus far. A senior trader at Greenwich, Jake Stolarski, told the outlet the market is in an identity crisis. It's trying to find a place to stabilize. Or more, it's trying to find a price to stabilize at. The key technical levels have been creating market volatility for sure due to sudden shifts in sentiment. He then went on to say, people are seeing where the resistance is, where the stops are both up and down. People are trying to find a stabilizing point where they can layer into a core position. A number of Twitter-based traders and analysts have also called for further losses as pullbacks expect to accelerate. The formation of a descending triangle and the posting of lower highs and lower lows is definitely a sign of weakening in the short term. Now, I want you to get that, and that's the point I want to make. This is a short-term thing where there's signs of weakness. This is a normal move. When you see Bitcoin goes into a bull market, it'll go up to a certain level, and then it'll drop back a little bit, quite generally, and it'll stay there for a while, and it'll determine that new price, and then it takes another surge up. Generally, this is what Bitcoin does when it's starting to go into a bull market. And that's what I think we're actually going into right now. Now, something else that's interesting here that I found out today is this guy. This guy right here. Maybe some of you guys don't recognize him, but people who've been around in the Bitcoin industry for a while know this guy. This is a picture of Mark Karpeles, and he's standing outside Mount Gox right here in the snow. He's got himself an umbrella, and this guy is really mad at him. The guy that's standing in front of him would probably like to sock him one, but probably the guy's holding his temper back, and the reason why is because Mt. Gox stole everybody's money. People had invested a lot of money in Bitcoin back when Bitcoin was cheap, and when Mt. Gox was in business, and this is years and years ago, and he basically stole 500,000 bitcoins. This Mark Karpeles, and he had them, and everybody knew he had them, and everybody was like, "Where's our money?" And a lot of them have never got their money back. This is what the guy looks like right now, Mark Karpeles. This is him right here. He's a fat little fella. Here's another picture of him right here, and he's got away with probably the biggest theft in history. Why I say he's got away with it, he's back on the scene again, and he's going back in business. Now, that's what this article's about right here. Mark Karpeles, he wants to get back in business. Mt. Gox CEO, Mark Karpeles, wants to get back in business. Early Bitcoin maverick, Mark Karpeles is back in business with a new technology startup. The former CEO of Mt. Gox Exchange has announced his role as a CTO for Tristan Technologies company, which seeks to develop a blockchain-based operating system. It says, let's hope this one goes a little bit better than his last venture. I don't. I wish this guy should be in jail for the rest of his life, honestly. You know, after what he tried to pull. He absconded with all these people's hard-earned money. You know? And they're going to let him in charge of money again. And this is basically, they announced a role as a CTO for Tristan Technologies. They're going to make him a blockchain-based operating system. They're going to put him in charge. Are they crazy? You know? Do they forget so quick who this guy actually is and what he actually did? Now, if you look ahead into the future, like right now, it might not be, well, even right now, it might be one of the biggest thefts in history when he took 500,000 bitcoins and he absconded, and these bitcoins were people's money. Back then, it wasn't as much money as it is now, but what about into the future? When we look at what Bitcoin is worth into the future, you know, and how many he took, I mean, and if we look into the future, this might go down in the future as being one of the biggest heists to take all those bitcoins that has ever occurred in the history of the world. Honest to gosh, you know. Listen, thank you guys for listening to this report, and we'll catch you again very, very soon. And let's hope the Bitcoin price doesn't go down too low. But I really don't think it's going to go under 7,000. I've listed the price that I think it's going to go to as the bottom edge of the price is 7,000, and the higher side probably 9,000. But I don't think it's going to reach the 9,000 before it takes off again. So I think we're probably going to tend to hold this price more or less, maybe with a slight downwards trend, you know, a little bit. But this is what it does. I could show you on charts how it's done it before. Let me see if I can pull up a chart on this page right here. Maybe, I don't know. Let's see. Let's try the 4-hour. See what we get. No, I'm not going to be able to on this page. Anyway, listen. Thank you guys for listening. Like and subscribe, and we'll catch you guys in the next show. Bye bye.